About 1 week after the Senate rejected the president's request to amend the recently signed Electoral Act 2022, the federal government has said it will explore all available options on the law before assenting to the amended Electoral Act on Friday, February 25th. The president, Major General Muhammadu Buhari, retired, asked the National Assembly to delete Section 84 of 12, which bars political appointees from participating in party conventions and congresses for the election of party officials and electoral candidates. The section states, no political appointee at any level shall be a voting delegate or be voted for at the convention or congress of any political party for the purpose of the nomination of candidates for any election. The president noted that it had introduced qualification and disqualification criteria that were ultra vires to the Constitution by importing blanket restriction and disqualification to serving political office holders, of which they were constitutionally accorded protection. While rejecting the section, Buhari said the practical application of Section 84 of 12 of the Electoral Bill 2022 will, if assented to by operation of law, subject serving political office holders to inhibitions and restrictions referred to under Section 40 and 42 of the 1999 Constitution as amended. It is imperative to note that the only constitutional expectation placed on serving political office holders that qualify by extension as public officers within the context of the Constitution is resignation, withdrawal, or retirement at least 30 days before the date of the election. Speaking to State House correspondents after the Federal Executive Council meeting presided over by Vice President Yemi Osibanjo at the Presidential Villa Abuja on Wednesday, the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice Abba Malami said the government had three options available, which are asking the National Assembly for reconsideration, approaching the court, or accepting the law as it was. Malami revealed that while it was the responsibility of the lawmakers to make laws, the federal government would exploit all the available options if necessary. He, however, said the government had yet to decide on the way forward on the issue. The Attorney General of the Federation stated, the government has a lot of options to consider and exploit. One of the options is to demand the National Assembly to reconsider the section of the law. The other option is to look at it within the context and spirit of the law and see what it can do. And all these options are on the table. No position has been conclusively taken on the part of the government. The government is reviewing, the government is looking, and the government will come up with a position at the appropriate time if the need for further action is required. If there's no further need for such an action, the government will take it as presented. But no position has been taken by the government as of today with particular regard to what needs to be done on the part of the executive arising from the provisions of the Electoral Act in respect to which issues of conflict with the Constitution were raised. Explaining the extradition request by the United States government for the embattled Deputy Commissioner of Police, Abba Kyari, the Attorney General of the Federation noted that the request was still being processed. He complained that media reports had created widespread misunderstanding of the issue and urged the media to always clarify the facts to avoid confusion. He added that Kyari's case with the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency was local and unrelated to that of US. Malami explained, there is no confusion, but there is a great misconception or perhaps either mischievous or otherwise on the part of certain journalists that have not taken time to study a solution, understand it, and act accordingly. Well, you see, there is the aspect associated with the case of Abba Kyari that is being handled at the international level, particularly the US. And the US arising from the case of Hush Puppy sent in an extradition request. I think you should get that clear. They sent in a request for extradition related to Abba Kyari, And the way and the manner these things are done with particular regards to the extradition, the Office of the Attorney General, upon receipt of an international extradition request, usually presents the same before the judiciary for consideration. So the conclusion as to whether a person should be extradited or not is a function or perhaps multilateral function inclusive of the international committee that makes a request, the Office of the Attorney General, diversity request, and the judiciary, to which the request is presented for review, analysis, and decision. So that is the case presented on account of the request of the international community, the US associated with Abba Kyari. That one is a distinct, separate, and clear case. Malami explained that while the extradition request was being considered, another case surfaced, which had to do with the NDLEA, which he termed a local case devoid of international dimension. He added, and that brings about the operation, application, and enforcement of the Nigerian law. And then, apparently, arising from that, he was charged in a different field, altogether unrelated to the case at the international level. So, what you have are two distinctly separate and independent cases, one international in dimension and the other one local. So, your idea of conflict does not arise, but the idea of misconception is the creation on the part of journalists, perhaps reporting cases out of context without caring to understand the true provisions, dimensions, and characters of the case. What I'm saying is that there is nothing like confusion, there's nothing like conflict. There are two distinct and separate cases. The Attorney General of the Federation is speaking with regards to um, the amendment, the Electoral Act amendment bill that is still waiting to be concluded, and also that of Abba Kyari. He stated that they've not taken a final position on the Electoral Act amendment bill. They are still exploring options. I hope that those options being looked at, they have to be in favor of the people, of the masses, because it's all about the people. It shouldn't be about the one that favors them, favors all of those politicians and all of those federal government appointees. It has to be about the people. And with that of Abba Kyari, the Attorney General is claiming right now that everything is going as planned. The NDLEA case is not conflicting or does not have anything to do with the US case, the one of the hush puppy against Abba Kyari. Well, we'll see how all of this plays out. But leave us your take, guys. Thank you once again for staying tuned. Please don't forget to like, share, and to subscribe. Till I come your way again on more updates. Bye.